Assalamu alaikum. You're looking to learn Arabic? Unsure where to go, how to start, what resources you might need, and how much it might cost? I'm just going to tell you right now. As of recording, I'm currently halfway through the second 10 days of the Dream Intensive course with NOUMAN AKLI KHAN, and I can honestly say it's probably one of the best introductions to the Arabic language that I could have asked for. So I've been thinking about learning Arabic for as long as I can remember. But classes are expensive and they require a really high level of time commitment. And if you're working and stuff, it can be difficult. And honestly, I just kind of wanted a deeper understanding, a first-hand understanding of what the Quran says and what it talks about. Obviously, there's a lot to learn from translations and such, but I feel like that first-hand account is a lot more valuable. Then literally a day before this course started, one of my friends, he sent me a message saying that this course is available, it's online, why don't we give it a shot? And literally I was like, yeah, if I don't do it there and then I'm never going to get around to learning Arabic. So I figured, why not? As my channel is about, bettering myself, learning new skills, both educational and physical, and the odd things here and there, I figured it's a great way to just keep track of my progress and stuff. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So what you need to know is that this is very much a comprehensive grammatical introduction into the Arabic language. Grammar is essential to any language, so it's super important that you have the foundations in grammar to then later on understand everything. We cover stuff like the type of Arabic that we're learning, the types of words, the sentence structure, identifying plurals, gender, type, and then later on, once the intensive side of it is complete, you then start picking up vocabulary and the wider Arabic language. So there are a few things that are required of you as a student before you start this. The first, and I think the most important, is that you're able to read the Quran, or you're able to read Arabic at a relatively fluid flow. Hopefully that made sense, but what I mean by that is you don't stop and stutter. Like, you can kind of carry your words and read fluidly. Not necessarily understand, but just being able to read. Second, there is a printout exercise book, which I will link below, which is essential because all of the exercises and the practice that Ustadh gets you to do is through the exercise pack. Third is 100% commitment to this. I will go through the course structure later on, but commitment is essential. Like, once you start, you should try not to drop off, because otherwise if you drop off one day, then you just keep on doing it and you won't get the full effect of the intensive part of this course. Lastly, you will need a Bayyinah TV membership. Now, Bayyinah is the company or the schooling body that is providing this course. Now, the first 10 days are free. I will just mention that now. But then after that, to continue the course, you will need a membership. So the online classes are actually a lot more light-hearted than I initially thought. From experience with madrasa, I thought learning Arabic would be like very strict and serious. Alhamdulillah, it's a lot of fun, and the Ustadh Nouman has like very fun ways to keep you engaged in the class, because these classes are pretty long, but in the most part it's very fun, very casual, very light-hearted, which is very pleasant, and it makes learning the language just a lot easier. Ustadh Nouman is actually very polite, very professional. I feel like the most important is that he knows how to teach. There's a lot of people who have knowledge and stuff, but delivering that knowledge to people that don't know anything about it is tricky for them. And I feel like he does a good job giving relatable examples and talking to you guys in a way that helps you understand the concepts that he's trying to get across. The good thing is that he cracks a few jokes here and there, so he does keep you engaged in a variety of ways. He has the funny stories to tell, and the class has a very casual vibe, so there's a lot of informal conversation in between, and it's quite fun to see him engaged that way. This is tailored to beginners, absolute beginners. One thing about the format, which I really think is a good thing, is that in the live classes he has 2 students with him. The students are very young, so they're about 15 years old, I think. I feel like their purpose is to help track your progress, because learning online is a lot different than learning in a classroom. So the fact that these young kids, although they're in the class with the Ustadh and they're being able to pick up the material, it shows how much you might need to work on certain subjects. And I feel like it's a great way to just compare your progress of the overall course, if you're understanding certain concepts and whatnot. So I think it's a great addition that he's got those 2 students on there with him. So I'll quickly just go through what the course structure is actually like. So the whole course is actually looking to go up until Ramadan 2021. However, the intensive part is actually a lot shorter, and it's the intensive part which builds the foundation in grammar. Then everything after that up until Ramadan is vocabulary. The initial intensive part of the course will last roughly 40 days. Those 40 days will be split into 4 sets of 10 days. So you do 10 days, have a small break, do another 10 days, have a small break, and then do the 10 days and have a small break, so on and so forth. Each day, the classes would last roughly 3 hours, which is pretty intense, but honestly, the classes fly by because it's so engaging and you're learning a lot of material really quickly. So honestly, you don't even see the time fly. The way it's kind of set out, so over the 40 days you would learn 2 sets of material, but they will be repeated. This is so, the first time around you get to understand everything, and then the second time you come back to it, you can then apply it more practically. And then the same with the third and the fourth day. So the third day you would cover something new, and then the fourth set of 10 days you would then cover the exact same stuff but have more application. I think the idea behind the repetition is to, build the understanding and then have you apply it in a practical scenario. And yeah, once the intensive side is done, then up until Ramadan next year, you would have daily classes lasting roughly 40 minutes. So they're super short, which would have you translate ayahs of the Quran and just, give you more of a vocabulary. The initial start is very tricky and very time committing. But then as you go on, it gets easier and easier. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about, Ustadh Nouman's philosophy and just who he is a bit. Because I feel like, if you understand the teacher a bit more, you might be more inclined to just give it a shot. So Ustad has about 20 years of experience teaching this material, so he knows the stuff inside and out. And what he always says is that this course is not only for students, but it's for teachers as well. So for the students, they obviously learn the material, but then the teachers, he kind of teaches them how to teach. I think his methods of teaching are super efficient and super effective. He doesn't want there to be a paywall between a student learning the language, which is why this course is probably one of the most affordable things I've seen that teaches to this caliber. And if you are someone who's looking to learn Arabic but you don't think you'd have the money, there is, you can apply for a sponsorship, but honestly that entire thing works with the honor system. If you're trying to learn the language of Allah and you just want to save a bit of money and have someone else pay for your education, Allah's watching, so you shouldn't even do that. But I mean, it's all based on trust, and honestly, if you really want to learn but you just can't, then yeah, go and apply, but just make sure your integrity is there. In his streams, he's talked about, the amount of people that have signed up for the sponsorships, and because the number was so high, what he actually ended up doing was, everyone that applied, he's given them a free membership for a year. And what he said is that, once again, he wants it to be accessible, and because there's such a high number of people that applied for it, he's given them free membership for a year. And yeah, he said, Allah will provide the funds. So the level of commitment to this course that he has on getting this message out to as many people as he can is phenomenal. So the course itself is actually open to non-Muslims and Muslims together. So yeah, if you just want to learn the language, then I also think this is a great place. You don't really need to be a Muslim to learn this. And yeah, it just brings more people to the language, which is amazing. So where to sign up, or where can you find the materials, and where can you sign up? So signing up to create an account, you obviously need to go to Bayna TV. Links to their websites will be below, so you can click on those and sign up if you want to. The initial 10 days of the course, so the first 10 days of the intensive, which is roughly about 30 hours of teaching, is free on YouTube. Links to the first episode and some of the materials will be below in the description. You will need to download the exercise workbook, which I'll try to also link below, and you will need to print that out because a lot of the practical that he does goes through that workbook. If you are looking to sign up, a membership costs roughly £8 a month, which is $11. So it is pretty affordable. Links to sign up will also be below. In terms of what you can find on their website, you'll find extra materials, transcripts, audio files, and just further documentation to help support your education on this course. So yeah, hopefully I think that's it. Hopefully this video explained the course well enough to understand, and hopefully it motivates a few of you guys who are serious about learning Arabic to at least go check out this course and check out Bayna TV to kind of see what it is that they have to offer. Honestly, this course is amazing with an incredible teacher, and I probably couldn't have asked for a better introduction into Arabic. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Peace.